Why do JavaScript arrow functions have lexical this scope? Imagine you're trying to keep track of who is speaking in a busy room. If you use a traditional method, the speaker might change depending on where you are in the room. That's similar to how JavaScript functions handle the this keyword. Now, picture a method that always knows who the original speaker was, no matter where you are in the room. That's what arrow functions do with this. They keep it tied to the place where they were created, not where they are called. This makes writing code much easier and less confusing. In JavaScript, regular functions determine what this means based on how they are called. If you call a function as a method of an object, this points to that object. But if you call a function on its own, this can refer to the global object or be undefined in strict mode. This can cause bugs, especially in asynchronous code or callbacks. For example, if you use a regular function inside a callback, this might not refer to the object you expect. You might have to use workarounds like storing this in a variable or using bind to fix it. Arrow functions change this by capturing the this value from their surrounding code when they are created. They do not have their own this. Instead, they inherit this from the scope where they are written. This means that if you write an arrow function inside an object method, it will use the same this as that method. So you don't need to worry about this changing unexpectedly. This is especially helpful in asynchronous functions and callbacks, where this often gets lost in translation. In web development, arrow functions are perfect for callbacks and event handlers. They keep the context consistent, so you don't have to add extra code to keep track of this. For example, if you want to access an object property inside a callback, an arrow function will automatically use the correct this. But remember, arrow functions should not be used as object methods if you need the method to have its own this. Since they don't create a new this, they won't work properly as methods that relying on this. Overall, arrow functions have lexical this scope to make JavaScript code clearer and easier to manage. They help prevent bugs caused by this changing unexpectedly. This design aligns with modern JavaScript practices, making code more readable and less prone to errors. By always capturing this from the surrounding context, arrow functions simplify how we handle functions and asynchronous operations in web development.